Okay. So, magandang gabi po ulit. Ituloy po natin yung atin pong discussion dito po sa atin pong ah, human rights. Sorry, ano ba to? Bill of Rights. Okay? Bill of Rights. Ang naiwan po natin is your Section 12. Okay? Section 12 of your Article 3. So, ano pong nasa atin pong Bill of Rights in relation sa atin pong Section 12? First paragraph. Any person under investigation, okay? Any person under investigation for the commission of a crime, okay, shall have the right to be informed of his right to remain silent and to have competent and independent counsel, preferably of his own choice, okay? If the person cannot afford the services of counsel, he must be afforded with one, okay? These rights cannot be waived except in writing and in the presence of counsel. Okay? So section 12 pertains to what? Okay? Section 12 pertains to your Miranda rights. Now, ano po itong pasok dito sa atin pong Miranda rights? If a person daw is under investigation. So, bakit po nasa subject sa tinatawag nating investigation ng isang individual? Because there is a commission of a crime. Okay? There is a commission of the crime. Now, Section 12 pertains to what kind of investigation? It pertains to that investigation which is performed by law enforcers. Okay? So, ang tawag po natin dyan is your custodial investigation. Okay? So, custodial investigation is not to be performed by the public authorities na tinatawag nating public prosecutor. It may be performed by whom? Which kind of public authorities? May be performed, okay? May be performed by law enforcers. Okay? May be performed. May be performed by law enforcers. Okay? So usually, sino po dito ang involved? Someone who has the authority to make an arrest. Okay? With authority to make an arrest. Okay? Now, we are going to arrest someone who has committed a crime. Ano po ang kailangan po nating gawin? Bilang isang law enforcer with the authority to make an arrest, we should be observant. We should be observing, the so-called Miranda rights. Under the 1987 Constitution, ilan ang Miranda rights ng atin pong individual? Yung sinasabi nating, sir, aarestuhin natin dahil gumawa po siya ng isang krimen. Under the 1987 Constitution, Miranda rights is consisting of 3 rights. Okay? Miranda rights will be consisting of 3 rights. Okay? So, halimbawa si Jose, nakagawa ng crime. So definitely, he will be the subject of arrest. Pero definitely, upon arrest, okay? Upon arrest of Jose, anong kailangang gawin agad-agad ng atin pong law enforcers? Upon arrest of Jose, the law enforcer, okay, must observe the so-called observe Miranda rights. Paano po yan, sir, gagawin? Whether ang tawag dyan ay Miranda warning, okay, walang problema dyan. Sir, first right, yung tinatawag nating right to be informed. Right to be informed of his right. Okay? So, ang una daw na karapatan nitong si Jose upon arrest is karapatan niyang malaman yung kanyang mga karapatan. The right to be informed of his rights. Ano yung mga karapatan niyang dapat malaman? The right to remain silent. Okay? The right to remain silent. And number 3, the right to competent. Okay? The right to competent and independent counsel. Okay? The right to competent and independent counsel, preferably of his own choice. Preferably of his own choice. Now, kung titingnan po natin dito sa atin pong Section 12, Paragraph 1 states only 3. Eh sir, hindi po ba kung kayo po ay yung mga part na ng law enforcement agencies, okay, yung iba dito, yung iba naman na sir talagang nagre-review pa lang para sa atin pong examination. Sir, you should be familiar na hindi lang po tatatlo ang atin pong Miranda rights. Under the 1987 Constitution, tatlo. Pero dahil tatlo lang yan, pinarami po yan ng atin pong RA 7438. Okay? So RA 7438 expounded. Okay? Expounded or expanded the content. Okay? The content of Miranda rights. So pinarami, pinalawak. Okay? The content of Miranda rights. Okay? Ano po yung RA 7438 ngayon? RA 7438 speaks of what? The rights of a person. The rights of a person under custodial investigation. Okay? So when we speak of your custodial investigation, okay, ang gumagawa po niyan ay mga law enforcers. Bakit? Ginagather nila yung lahat ng posibleng evidence na pwedeng gamitin ng atin pong prosecution laban dun sa atin pong arrestee. Okay? So the rights of a person under custodial investigation will be the protection of such person versus what? Versus the possible abuses. Okay? Versus the possible abuses to be done. Okay? To be done by the law enforcers. Kailan? During the custodial investigation. Okay? During the custodial investigation. Okay? Now, sir, ano po bang pwedeng mangyari kapag hindi po nasunod yung sinasabing Miranda rights ng atin pong arrestee? Will it result to the automatic acquittal? Will it result to the automatic dismissal of the criminal case? Hindi po. Okay? So kung titingnan po natin, hindi ganun ang result. Under the so-called Section 12, ang result will only be subject to exclusion. Okay? Now, may pagkakataon po ba, sir, na during custodial investigation, sir, mapapaamin natin dito yung ating pong arrestee? Yes, that is the very purpose kung bakit po ginagawa ang atin pong custodial investigation. Para paaminin dito yung atin pong arrestee. Okay? Para paaminin yung atin pong arrestee. So, ano po ang possible na makukuha natin sa kanya? Mula sa kanyang bibig o mula sa kanyang halimbawang written output. There may be the so-called confession. Okay? Or there may be the so-called admission. Okay? So what is confession? Therefore, confession is acknowledgement of guilt. Acknowledgement of guilt. How about kapag sinabi naman nating admission? Admission is the recognition of the existence. Recognition of the existence of facts. Now, pareho po ba silang may ginagawang pag-amin? Whether it is confession or admission. Pareho po. Pero magkaiba ng bagay na inaamin. Ang inaamin dito kapag confession, that is yung participation ng atin pong arrestee to the crime that has been committed. Okay? So inamin niya sa harap ng isang law enforcer, gaya ng NBI, gaya ng police, halimbawa, ng police officer, na siya yung pumatay, siya yung gumawa ng krimen laban dun sa atin pong victim. Now, that may be confession. How about kapag sinabi naman nating admission? Sir, inamin lamang niya na may pangyayari, pero not necessarily inaamin niya dito yung kanyang participation to the crime that has been committed. Tinanong, nasaan ka nung oras, sir, ng alas 7? Sir, nasa bahay po. Oh, ibig sabihin, natutulog ka ba sa bahay nung oras na yan? Yes, that is an admission. Inamin mo na may nangyari. Ano yung nangyari? Natutulog ka sa iyong bahay. Anong oras? 7 p.m. Does it relate to the commission of a crime? Not yet. Pero kapag sinabi mo, habang ako po ay tulog, 7 ng gabi, nagising po ako, naalimpungatan. Sir, pagbangon ko po, bigla kong kinuha halimbawa yung kutsilyo at sinaksa ko dito halimbawa yung aking pong asawa. So inamin ko yung pangyayari. Pero this time, ang pangyayari becomes the commission of the crime. Therefore, it may be considered as confession. It is an acknowledgement of the guilt. Okay? Now, if a confession or admission is made outside of the court, kagaya ng custodial investigation, therefore your confession or admission is made extrajudicially. Okay? The confession or admission is made extrajudicially. So where is the confession or admission made? It is made outside the court proceedings. Outside the court proceedings. So ngayon, narinig po ba ng korte? Narinig po ba ni judge ang pinag-aamin o ang pinagsasabi ng atin pong arrestee? Hindi. So ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga pinagsasabi during the time of the custodial investigation, kailangan po ba nating ihain pa sa court bilang ebidensya para makumbinsi natin na, Your Honor, kasama ng iba pang mga ebidensya, inamin ng atin pong accused yung kanyang pagkakasala. Definitely, dapat po natin siyang i-convict. Okay? So sa ganyang instances, yung extrajudicial confession will help the law enforcer, sir, in the form of what? Evidentiary value. Tutulungan yung law enforcer na mag-present ng ibang evidence sa pamamagitan ng mga salita na nagmula mismo sa atin pong arrestee. Okay? Ngayon, ang sabi ng atin pong Miranda rights, para maging valid yan, ang extrajudicial confession or admission, para maging admissible. Okay? Para maging admissible, kailangang sumusunod ngayon sa sinasabi ng Miranda rights. Now, first, there must be the proper information. Okay? First, there must be the proper information. Ibig sabihin, na ipaalam po ba ng atin pong law enforcer sa atin pong arrestee kung ano-ano yung kanyang mga karapatan. The arrestee is properly, okay, informed. Okay? The arrestee is properly informed of his rights. Okay? Of his rights. Okay? Now, kung oo, nasabihan naman po, sinabihan lang, tanong, ipinaintindi po ba ng atin pong law enforcer lahat ng kanyang mga karapatan sa paraan na talagang mabilis na maiintindihan ng atin pong arrestee? Sir, English po yung pagkakasabi ko eh. Tapos ang atin pong arrestee, sabihin na natin, hindi po nakapag-aral or nakapag-aral pero mahirap naman pong umintindi ng English. Now, anong pamamaraan para ipaintindi sa atin pong arrestee? Yung nilalaman ng Miranda rights in the language known to the arrestee kung maaari. Okay? So gagamit ka ng mga pamamaraan para, sir, maintindihan ng arrestee ano ba ang kanyang karapatan na pwedeng gamitin during the time of custodial investigation. Now, alam niya na ngayon, magko-custodial investigation na tayo. Willing siyang gumawa ng alin? Willing siyang gumawa ng confession or admission. Pero kailangan nandyan ang kanyang abogado. There must be the presence of what? Counsel. Okay? Now, when we speak of the presence of the counsel, gaano po siya dapat present? Kailangan po ba present lamang siya ng 30 minutes? Tapos the other 30 minutes, hayaan na namin. Sabi ng abogado, o kayo na mag-usap. Nakausap ko na yung arrestee, willing daw siyang umamin. Tapos tanungin mo na lang, sabi doon sa law enforcer. Is that allowed? No. Sabi ng 1987 Constitution, the counsel should be present. Okay? Should be present at all times. okay, should be present at all times during investigation. Okay? So, kung ikaw po ay law enforcer at hindi pa po dumarating dito yung kanyang abogado, do not initiate any question. Do not start with any question. Eh sir, we are just getting to know each other. Kumbaga, nagbi-build lang naman ako ng rapport para paniwalaan ako ng arrestee. Eh kahit pa, ang sabi dyan, any form of confession or admission can be covered because it is now under investigation. Okay? So kung wala pa yung abogado, huwag magsimulang magtanong. Okay? Kung wala pa yung abogado, huwag magsimulang magtanong. Eh sir, dumating na po yung abogado. Sir, sino po ang pumili? Sabi dyan, the counsel must be preferably of the choice. Okay? Preferably of the choice of the arrestee. Okay? Bakit? Kasi para hindi po maging biased, ano din ang sabi? It must be or the counsel must be independent. Okay? And being independent, he must be what? An independent person is free from bias. Okay? Free from bias. Now, will the police officers, will the law enforcers, or are they required to provide? Yes, pero hindi sa paraan na sir, i-impluwensyahan ng atin po mga law enforcers yung abogado. Oh, ikaw na umupo, sabi dun sa kabaro. Abogado ka rin naman eh, di ba? Pareho tayong pulis at naiintindihan mo yung pangangailangan natin sa ebidensya na magmumula sa bibig halimbawa ng atin pong arrestee. So sabi mo sa kabaro mo, ikaw na lang mag-abogado dyan. Sabihin mo, umami na siya. Okay? Sabihin mo, aminin na niya yung kanyang ginawa. Kasi lalabas at lalabas rin naman na siya ay convicted. Now, in that instance, ano po ang nangyayari? Nawawala yung sense of independence dahil iniimpluwensyahan ng mga law enforcers yung abogado na kumbaga susulsulan yung atin pong arrestee. Eh ano sabi ng 1987 Constitution? The counsel must be competent and independent. Independent means free from bias. Nandun ka lang dahil kinuha ka bilang abogado ng ating pong arrestee and nothing else. Now, ang iyo pong trabaho, bigyan ng counsel. At kapag sinabi nating counsel, bigyan ng advice. Ano bang dapat mong gawin? Sabi ng ating pong arrestee, o ito ang dapat mong gawin sang-ayon sa konstitusyon. So, binibigyan natin ng guidance yung ating pong arrestee. Now, kapag sinabi naman nating competent, okay, the counsel should have what? The counsel should have the ability. Okay? The counsel should have the ability to defend the cause. Okay? Ability to defend the cause of the arrestee. Okay? So, kapag yan po ay nandyan na, sir, how about yung counsel na tinawagan? Sabi niya, Mr. Police Officer, may tumatawag lang sa aking cellphone, emergency lang. 5 minutes lang, 5 minutes. Now, bilang law enforcer, should you commence or should you continue with the conduct of the custodial investigation? Kahit pa po yan ay 5 minutes. Kahit pa po yan ay 3 minutes or 1 minute lang, hindi mo dapat ipagpatuloy. Why? It is as if there is no counsel at all dahil walang nagbibigay ng payo sa atin pong arrestee. So tatandaan ha, in all stages of the so-called investigation, at all times during the investigation, the counsel of the person, of the arrestee must be present. Now, aamin ako sa harap ng aking abogado at lahat ng aaminin ko, isusulat ko. Okay? It must be done in writing. Okay? It must be done in writing. Hindi pwedeng basta lang oral. Kasi gusto mong gamitin yan bilang ebidensya laban sa kanya. So dapat lahat ng kanyang mga ikukwento nakasulat. Therefore, at pagkatapos ang isulat, sir, o kaya magkikwento yung ating pong arrestee, ikaw yung law enforcer na tagapag-type Now, kapag tapos ng magkwento, umamin, magbigay ng admission or confession, ikaw na law enforcer na tagapag-type, sir, bigyan mo siya ng kopya, ipabasa mo sa ating arrestee. At kailangan mabasa din ng kanyang abogado. Kapag yun ang kanyang sinabi, base sa kanyang pagkakasabi, na translate yan sa pagtatype, kailangang pirmahan ng atin pong arrestee. Signature of arrestee together with the counsel. Writing and signature must be required. Yes, sir. Ano po ito? It must be done voluntarily. Okay? It must be done voluntarily. So, pwede po ba nating pilitin yung atin pong arrestee na umamin? Pwede po ba nating pilitin yung atin pong arrestee na, sir, sa pamamagitan ng pananakot o sa pamamagitan halimbawa ng intimidation, dapat magbigay ng confession or admission ng atin pong arrestee? Hindi pwede. Kaya ang sabi natin, kapag ito pong apat na requirements na yan ay present, lahat ng kanyang mga pinagsasabi during the time of custodial investigation will be used. Okay? All confession or admission. All confessions or admissions will now be what? Will now be admissible. Okay? Will now be admissible in evidence. Laban po kanino? Against the arrestee. Okay? Against the arrestee. Okay? Now, sir, para maging admissible, sinunod natin ang Miranda rights ngayon. Eh sabi naman ng atin po accused, hindi ko nagagamitin yung aking karapatan. Gusto ko kapag magkikwento ako, walang assistance ng abogado. Can that be allowed? Sabi ng 1987 Constitution, pwede. There must also be the so-called valid waiver. Okay? There must be the so-called valid waiver. Okay? So paano po nagkakaroon ng tinatawag nating valid waiver? Ano naman yung valid waiver na yan? Valid waiver is the relinquishment to relinquish the rights. Okay? So kapag sinabi nating valid waiver, aalisan mo ngayon ng karapatan ang iyong sarili. Okay? So kung ikaw po yung arrestee, sabi mo, aamin ako, iwe-waive ko na ang aking right to remain silent. At aamin ako kahit wala dito ang atin pong abogado. Kahit hindi pa siya dumarating, okay lang. Okay? Aamin na ako. Ngayon, how does a valid waiver come into existence? How a waiver becomes valid? Or how does a waiver become valid? Okay? So, ganun din po ba ang atin pong requirements? Yes. Okay? Ganun din ang atin pong requirements. Kailangan yung atin pong arrestee na sabihan muna ng kanyang karapatan. Okay? Kailangan yung arrestee na impormahan muna ng kanyang karapatan. Now, kailangan yung arrestee, hindi natin tinakot. Kusang loob po ba niyang gagawin dito yung valid waiver? Yes. Now, kailangan po ba gagawin po niya yan sa harap ng kanyang abogado? Yes. At kailangan isusulat niya ang kanyang waiver na to the point, pag magkakandak tayo ng investigation, sabi ng arrestee, ayaw ko na may assistance ng isang abogado. Now, paano po magkakaroon ng valid waiver? Sinabi, in-inform, voluntary po niyang ginagawa. Definitely, sir, sa ganyang instance, kailangang isulat at kailangan sa harap po yan ng abogado gagawin. Kapag yan pong mga yan, sir, kompleto, there is now a valid waiver. Okay? There is now a valid waiver. Okay? Now, sir, how about kapag hindi po nasunod ang mandates ng Miranda rights? How about kapag hindi po nasunod ang tinatawag po nating valid waiver? Sir, all evidence obtained from confession. Okay? All evidence obtained from confession or admission will be what? Will be inadmissible. Okay? Will be considered as what? Inadmissible. Okay? So bakit po siya tatawagin bilang inadmissible? Ise-separate natin yan. Ihihiwalay natin yan bilang ebidensya. Why? Because yung mga ebidensyang nagmula sa pag-amin ng atin pong arrestee, hindi tama ang pagkakagawa. Hindi po tama ang pagkuha. Therefore, lahat ng mga ebidensya becomes inadmissible by the reason that they are what? Illegally acquired. Okay? They are what? Illegally acquired. Why illegally acquired? They did not follow the mandates of the Miranda rights. Okay? They did not follow the mandates of the Miranda rights. So yun po ang posibleng effect. At tandaan ha, hindi dahil hindi sinunod ang Miranda rights, ano po ang mangyayari? Hindi dahil hindi sinunod ang Miranda rights, sir, acquitted. Hindi dahil hindi sinunod ang Miranda rights, sir, dismissed ang criminal case. Pwede pa rin po bang matuloy ang criminal case laban sa atin pong arrestee? Yes. Kung meron pong ibang ebidensya na susuporta sa kanyang conviction, pwede pa rin po bang matuloy ang conviction ng atin pong arrestee? Yes, kahit na yung kanyang ginawang pag-amin, hindi po natin gagamitin bilang ebidensya. Okay? So tatandaan ha, okay? Tatandaan, when we speak of, okay, when we speak of your, sir, inadmissibility, therefore, lahat ng mga ebidensyang nakuha sa confession or admission becomes illegally acquired. Now, bakit? Mali ang pamamaraan. Wrong method. Okay? Wrong method. Therefore, pagkakaroon ng wrong method, ibig sabihin, sir, it becomes poisonous. Okay? It becomes a poisonous tree. Okay? So lahat ng evidence na nagmula po dyan sa poisonous tree na yan will also become what? All confessions. Okay? All confessions, all admissions will become as well poisonous. Ito po ang puno, maling paggawa ng atin pong, sir, investigation. Okay? Wrong method of investigation. Kumbaga, bakit? Kasi hindi sumunod sa mandates ng Miranda rights. Definitely, kung ano man yung mga nabigay na confession, kahit pa sabihin natin kusang loob naman pong ginawa ng atin pong arrestee, wala nga lang abogado. Therefore, also becomes poisonous. Okay? So mali ang pamamaraan, mali ang proseso ng investigation. Therefore, lahat ng confession or admissions na nagmula sa atin pong arrestee becomes a fruit of the poisonous tree. Okay? So what will be the effect? All evidence will be subject to becoming what? Inadmissible evidence. Okay? Bakit? Kasi illegally acquired. Okay? Kasi yan po ay illegally acquired. Okay? Now, sir, kung babalikan po natin yung atin pong 1987 Constitution. Okay? So, ang nakalagay po dyan is what? Okay? Sir, sa paragraph 1, ang nakalagay po dyan yung tinatawag nating Miranda rights. Eh sir, wala naman po nakalagay dyan na voluntary. Yung paragraph 1, therefore, i-relate mo sa paragraph 2. Anong nakalagay dyan sa paragraph 2? Okay? No torture, no force, violence, threat, intimidation, or any other means which vitiate the free will shall be used against him. So, ibig sabihin, in the conduct of your Miranda rights, okay, in the conduct of the investigation, dapat po, sir, in the conduct of investigation, it must be without any coercion. Okay? It must be without any coercion. Walang halong pamimilit dapat. Okay? Walang halong pamimilit. Okay? Eh sir, kapag pinipilit ko yung atin pong arrestee, what happens? Ibig sabihin yan, sir, nawawalan po siya ng choice. At sa pamamagitan ng pamimilit, nagkakaroon tayo dito ng involuntary confession or admission. So definitely, Natakot po ako eh. Kaya umamin na lang po ako. Eh sir, hindi naman po ako sinaktan, pero meron pong intimidation. Okay? At ang lagi ko pong sinasabi dito, sir, kahit po yan ay sa mga simpleng padali ng joke. Okay? At ang lagi ko pong ine-exemplify dito para mas magkaroon tayo ng visualization, yung pelikula. Okay? Sa mga naging estudyante ko po sa regular review ng criminology, alam yan. Okay? Ano po yun? Sir, yung pelikula ni Nalito Lapid, okay? Yung pelikula Nina Babalu, okay? At yung pelikula ni Nadolfi. Lahat po sila dito ay ano? Lahat po sila dito ay pulis. Okay? Lahat po sila dito ay pulis. Okay? Now, ano nangyari? Itong si Lito Lapid may naging subject ng arrest kasi may sumugod sa kanyang pamamahay. Okay? May sumugod sa kanyang pamamahay. Now, since bida siya, definitely, sir, natalo niya yung goon na sumugod sa kanyang bahay. Dinala sa custodial facility. Okay? Dinala sa custodial facility. Now, pagdala sa custodial facility, sabi nung goon, alam ko yung mga gawain nyo. Hindi nyo ako mapapaamin. Meron pa siyang inimik, sabihin natin ay police brutality, etc. Okay? Now, here comes Dolphy and Babalu na pumasok sa eksena. Okay? So sabi kay Lito Lapid, oh, papakilala ko sa iyo bagong huli. Ang bagong huli ay si Dolphy. Oh, sabi ni Lito Lapid, meron din akong bagong huli, ayaw nga lang umamin. So sabi ni Babalo, o sige, doon kami sa kabilang room. Ako nang bahala dito kay Dolphy. Bahala ka na dyan sa huli mo. Now, paglabas ni Dolphy at ni Babalo, si Dolphy pinagpanggap na ano po, sugatan, mukhang nabugbog, naputulan ng kamay, pagkatapos is what? Sir, ultimately, pinasok si Dolphy na naka-stretcher. Diba? Pinasok si Dolphy na naka-stretcher, duguan, parang putol ang kamay, etc. Now, walang nagawa dito yung arrest ni Lito Lapid kung hindi umamin. Pero, take note, hindi naman po sinaktan yung arrest ni Lito Lapid. Sa pamamagitan therefore ng, sir, pagpapanggap. Okay? Sa pamamagitan therefore ng pagpapanggap, nakuha yung pag-amin nung arrestee nitong sino? Si Lito Lapid. O kung inyo pong familiar, di ba? Medyo kulang yung kwento ko, pero ganun po ang essence. Okay? So, dahil nagpanggap na nasaktan, nagpanggap halimbawa na sir, naputulan, duguan, etc. Yung isang tao nagkaroon ng thinking sa kanyang utak, kapag hindi ako umamin, ganito ang mangyayari sa akin. Kapag hindi ako nagbigay ng confession, ako naman ang susunod. So yung arrest din itong si Lito Lapid, sir, ano po yan? Napilitan niya yung umamin. Sir, is that voluntary? Okay? Is that voluntary? Yes or no? That is not voluntary. So therefore, kapag sinabi natin ganyan po ang nangyari, sir, lahat ng kanyang aaminin, pwede po bang mabaliwala? Okay? Lahat ng kanyang aaminin, pwede po ba yang mabaliwala? Yes. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kapag itong arrestin natin, sir, kahit umamin pero napilitan, walang kwenta yung kanyang ginawa. At ikaw bilang law enforcer, wala ding silbi yung effort mo. Kasi hindi po yan pwedeng pumasok saan? Sa ebidensyang pwedeng gamitin laban sa atin pong arrestee. Okay? So, in that instance, walang silbi, hindi pwedeng gamitin bilang ebidensya. Okay? Eh, sir, now, sa dulong part, okay, dito po sa atin pong paragraph 2, ano po ang meron? Sir, secret detention places, solitary, incommunicado, and other similar forms of detention are prohibited. Now, kapag nagkaroon ng arrest, saan po dapat dinadala? Okay? Kapag nagkaroon ng arrest, saan po dapat dinadala? It is to the nearest police station. Okay? So bring the arrestee. Okay? Bring the arrestee to where? Bring the arrestee to the nearest police station. Okay? Bakit? Nearest police station. Okay? Sir, kung ang gumawa niyan syempre ay yung atin pong police officers. Eh sir, paano kung ang gumawa niyan ay NBI, halimbawa? So definitely, sa nearest NBI station, kung maaari. Kasi kanya-kanya tayo ng custody. Ang nagdala halimbawa ay PDEA, kung nakipag-coordinate halimbawa sa police, pwedeng dalhin sa police station. Pero kung solely PDEA lang, saan dapat dalhin? Sir, doon sa kanilang, sir, opisina. Kasi doon mangyayari yung tinatawag nating custodial investigation. Now, bakit dyan at hindi po sa mga liblib na lugar? Sir, mabalik lang natin ang history. Okay? Ito pong 1987 Constitution, ginawa laban sa mga abuses na posibleng ulitin kung magkakaroon ulit ng martial law. Kasi di ba by history, ang nauna sa 1987 Constitution is the period of martial law. Without being biased, ito ay documented, merong mga tao nung panahon ng martial law na hindi naman sila gumawa ng krimen. Sabi, hindi po namin kayo aarestuhin. Iimbitahan lang namin kayo, sir, na sumama sa amin at magpaliwanag. Pero what happened? Yung mga taong inimbitahan ngayon, hindi po dinala sa police station. Hindi dinala sa mga custodial facility na sir, official custodial facility. Saan sila dinala? Sa mga liblib na lugar, sa mga sobrang lalayong lugar na hindi po sila mahahanap ng kanilang mga pamilya, na hindi po sila matatawagan ng kanilang mga abogado. So, dahil sa experience during the time of martial law, iginawa or nilagay ng 1987 Constitution para hindi na po yan maulit. Kaya nakalagay dyan, sabi rin ng atin pong rules of court, if the law enforcer committed an arrest of another person, he or she as a law enforcer must bring the arrestee to the nearest police station. Walang ibang lugar. Hindi sa kung saan-saan. Okay? Hindi sa kung saang-saang lugar. Okay? Now, sir, pwede po bang dalhin natin sa mga tinatawag na inkomunikado? Ano po yung inkomunikado? No connection, no communication. Okay? Unreachable. Okay? Kaya sinasabi nating inkomunikado, sir, wala dyang, at least man lang, nung panahon dati, di ba? Nung ginawa ang 1987 Constitution, walang landline. Eh ngayon, kahit naman walang landline, pero meron naman tayong cellphone. So, posible po bang pagamitin for a temporary moment yung atin pong arrestin ng cellphone? Yes. Bakit? Para makipag-usap sa kanyang abogado. Oh, attorney, inaresto ako eh. Pwede mo ba akong bisitahin dito sa presinto kung saan ka mang dinalang presinto? Oh, okay, pupuntahan kita dyan. Oh, tatawagan mo rin yung iyo pong ano. Sir, tatawagan mo rin yung iyong pamilya. Pwede po ba yan? Yes. Under RA 7438. Okay? For a moment, ha? For a moment. Hindi naman buong, sir, buong detention ng ating pong arrestee papayagan. At least, ang communication is a means para impormahan dito yung kanyang pamilya at yung kanyang abogado na puntahan siya because naging subject siya ng arrest at posibleng magkaroon dito ng custodial investigation. Okay? Now, sir, ano po ang nakalagay pa sa atin pong Article 3, Section 12? Okay? Any confession or admission obtained in violation of this or Section 17 hereof shall be inadmissible in evidence against him. At ito po yung sinabi ko kanina. This Section 3 pertains to your what? This Section 3 pertains to the exclusionary principle. Okay? Exclusionary principle. Okay? So what happens is, when there is any confession or admission obtained in violation of Section 12, kaya paulit-ulit ko pong sinabi kanina, hindi magkakaroon ng dismissal, hindi rin magkakaroon ng automatic acquittal dahil ginagamit lang natin ito bilang additional evidence. Yes, sir, meron pa naman pong ibang ebidensya. Can we still convict the particular arrestee? Yes. Can we still proceed with the criminal case? Yes. Kahit ihiwalay po natin ito, pwede pa rin magkaroon ng conviction. Pero walang silbi ngayon. Walang silbi yung iyo pong, sir, investigasyon. Bakit? Kasi isasantabi yan. It will be considered as what? Inadmissible in evidence. Bakit nga? Ang tawag dyan ay incompetent evidence because it is now excluded. Okay? Why is it excluded? Because it was acquired illegally. Okay? Because it was acquired illegally. Okay? Sir, ano po ang pwedeng mangyari dun sa atin pong law enforcer? Ito naman ang possible consequence bilang isang law enforcer. Pagdating dun sa ebidensya, ihihiwalay natin. Pero sa law enforcer, what happens? The law enforcer will be subject to penal and civil sanctions. So anong ibig sabihin ng word na penal? The law enforcer may face what? Criminal cases. Okay? The law enforcer may face what? Civil cases. Dahil violate ng atin pong law enforcer ang karapatan ng atin pong arrestee while under custodial investigation. Okay? Now, sir, ano po ang posibleng maging criminal case dito? Napakarami. Okay? Pwedeng pumasok yan sa grave coercion, pwedeng pumasok yan sa Anti-Torture Act, pwede rin po bang pumasok yan sa tinatawag nating arbitrary detention? Pwede. Okay? So in those instances, yung regular crimes under the Revised Penal Code and other special penal laws, pwede po ba natin gamitin laban sa atin pong law enforcer in case, sir, na-violate ang Miranda rights and at the same time, nagkaroon pa dito ng other acts consequent to what? The violation of the Miranda rights. Okay? Now, pwede makulong? Pwede. Pwede magbayad ng multa? Pwede. Imprisonment and fine as a consequence of what? The criminal liability. Sir, dahil may napinsala po ako, kailangan ko po bang magbayad ng danyos? Yes. Okay? Kailangan mong magbayad ng danyos. And since the law enforcer is a professional, pwede po ba nating dagdagan yan ngayon ng administrative liability? Pwede. Okay? Plus administrative liability. Sir, may na-violate ka under the Revised Penal Code, pwedeng ikatanggal yan ng iyong lisensya kung ikaw po ay registered professional. May na-violate ka under the Revised Penal Code in connection saan? Sir, violation ng Miranda rights, pwede rin po bang matanggal sa pwesto yung atin pong law enforcer? Sa gobyerno, yes, o kaya pwede siyang masuspinde from government service. Okay? So imagine, sa hindi lamang pagsunod sa Miranda rights ng atin pong arrestee, you will face 3 liabilities as a law enforcer. Criminal, civil, and administrative liabilities. Okay? Now, sir, kaya nung nag-usap tayo last time, ang pagsunod sa Bill of Rights, hindi lang para maging mabuti. Hindi lang po yan para sa kapakanan ng mga private individuals. Para din po yan sa iyo bilang law enforcer. Why? Kasi kung alam mo yung mga hindi pwedeng gawin, therefore you are self-regulating. Bakit ka nagsa-self-regulate? Para hindi ko na maharap yung criminal, civil, and administrative liabilities na yan. Why? Pagkatapos kong paghirapan halimbawa ng 4 na taon yung aking course college, nag-review ako, pumasa ako sa mga civil service exams na inyo pong kakaharapin, only to find out na mawawala ka rin pala sa serbisyo dahil hindi mo lamang sinunod ang Miranda rights. Diba? So kapag iniingatan mo ang constituents mo, iniingatan mo din po ba ang sarili mo dyan? Yes. Okay? You are protecting yourselves laban sa possible liabilities. Threefold liabilities. Civil, criminal, and administrative liabilities. Okay? So that is in relation sa atin pong Section 12. Okay? Now, sabi natin, ang Section 12 ay rights of a person under custodial investigation. Now, is that person an accused? Hindi pa. Tandaan ha, Sir, in the point of view ng atin pong 1987 Constitution at ng atin pong Rules of Court, kapag Section 12 ang pinag-uusapan, that person under investigation, okay? Person under investigation is called what? Is called what? A suspect. Okay? Pinagsususpetsahan ka na gumawa ng krimen. Pero bakit pinagsususpetsahan pa lang? Kasi wala pa pong matibay na ebidensya. Okay? Wala pa po ditong matibay na ebidensya. Yes, sir. Isa po ba akong accused? Not yet, dahil hindi ka pa nasasampahan ng reklamo sa korte. You are just what? Under, kumbaga, the watch list of the law enforcers. Okay? So ngayon, sir, kapag nakahanap sila dito ng matibay-tibay na ebidensya at meron na silang comprehensive na approach para dalhin yan ngayon sa tulong ng atin pong public prosecutor, sir, magsasampa na ng reklamo sa atin pong korte. At dyan napapasok ang atin pong Section 14. A person who is now charged, okay? A person who is now charged, okay? Now charged in court, okay? He is now considered as an accused, okay? So definitely, kapag tinawag po nating accused, nasa iyo pa rin po ba yung iyong karapatan under Section 12? Yes. Sir, how about kapag sinabi natin, sir, ako po ay suspect. Meron na po ba akong karapatan ng isang accused? Hindi pa, wala pa. Okay? So tatandaan ha, Section 14 includes Section 12. But Section 12, okay, does not include Section 14. Bakit? Kasi, kumbaga, sir, pagkatapos ng custodial investigation, wala pong nahanap na ebidensya, hindi ako sinampa ng reklamo sa korte. Pero kapag umabot ang reklamo sa korte, pinagdaan mo pareho yan. You are under investigation by the law enforcer and you are now facing charges in court. Therefore, dati kang suspect na convert into what? An accused. Okay? Now, sir, ang pinag-uusapan natin sa atin pong Section 12 is what? The rights of a person under custodial investigation. So, kailan nga po yan nag-uumpisa? Okay? It starts, okay? The rights become available, become applicable at the time of what? At the time of custodial investigation. Okay? Tingnan mabuti ha. Sir, hindi po ba at the time of arrest? Hindi. Kaya nga ang terminology ginamit is what? Rights of a person under custodial investigation. Okay? Now, how about your Section 14? The rights of an accused become available, okay, become applicable from the moment, okay, from the moment a person is what? A person is charged in court. Okay? So take note of the difference. Therefore, kailan naman po walang Miranda rights? Kailan natin tatawagin na hindi applicable yung rights of a person under custodial investigation? Okay? So, hindi natin basta-basta pwedeng ipagpilitan na merong observance ng Miranda rights kapag ang pinag-uusapan natin ay investigation. Okay? Walang Miranda rights ha? Walang Miranda rights during the time of what? Investigation by private individuals. Okay? Investigation by private individuals. Okay? Sir, shoplifter po ako. Nahuli ako ng mga private security guards ng isang mall. So ngayon, dinala ako ngayon sa kanilang facility. Doon sa fourth floor, halimbawa, nandun ang kanilang security office. At sila ngayon yung pumipilit sa akin na umamin. Because sabi nila, kailangan naming mag-report sa management para alam nila kung ano ang gagawing aksyon. Umamin ako. Now, bago umamin, pwede ko bang i-require yung mga private individuals, yung mga private security guards? Oh, bago po ninyo ako paaminin, kailangan may abogado ako. Kailangan nakasulat at kailangan hindi nyo ako pinipilit. You cannot do that because the private individuals are not law enforcers. Okay? Next, the confession is made or the admission is made, okay, to a private individual. Eh sir, anong pinagkaiba ng number 1 sa number 2? Sa number 1, yung private investigation, okay, nangyayari. Sa number 2, wala nang nangyayaring private investigation. Pagkatapos mong gumawa ng krimen, tumakbo ka ngayon halimbawa sa nanay mo. Tinakbuhan mo halimbawa or pumunta ka ngayon halimbawa sa bahay ng iyong best friend. Sabi mo, best friend, nanay, nakagawa ako ng krimen. Aamin ako sa aking kasalanan. Pero ang nanay mo, ang best friend mo, hindi po sila law enforcer. At hindi rin naman sila gumagawa ng investigation. So, hindi mo sasabihin sa kanila, pero bago ako umamin, kailangan may abogado ako. Kailangan hindi mo ako pipilitin ha, kailangan hayaan mo akong magkwento. At kailangan isusulat natin yan. No, hindi mo yan sasabihin sa nanay mo. Hindi mo yan sasabihin sa best friend mo. Hindi naman sila law enforcers. At hindi rin sila gumagawa ng investigation about you. So out of nowhere, bigla ka na lang gustong magsalita. Okay? So that cannot be required. Yung atin pong Miranda rights. Okay?